My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child.
You would be standing up for it too. But the fact that you can feed and fall into evil and then wonder why you can't look in the mirror. If you have children, wonder why there's even a crumb of something dangerous.
Wait, what happened to that alleged adopted white daughter of Sean, Diddy, Combs? She was all over the news when his trial was at its peak. Now, Ally Carter has brought major attention back to the situation by exposing alleged details about what happens to so-called adopted daughters and wards of celebrities. What supposedly happened to Diddy's adopted white daughter, Ava Baldwin, is now raising serious questions. According to the circulating story, the last time her biological father, David Harper, saw her, she was only 6 years old. He reportedly had no idea Diddy was even involved until a video surfaced of Diddy introducing her as his adopted daughter. Rumors claim that Ava was later taken to an undisclosed location for work. If that wasn't already alarming, Jaguar Wright entered the conversation amid the growing allegations, claiming that Ava is still alive but heavily monitored, and that even federal authorities have not been able to determine her location. What makes the situation even more unsettling is that, before all of this allegedly happened, Diddy was seen bringing Ava around his own daughters. There are videos and photos of her spending time with the twins, and they appeared to have formed a close bond. No one can clearly explain why he would do that, especially given the serious claims being made. And to make matters worse, there are allegations that he had connections within federal agencies, suggesting that any investigation may not have posed a real threat to him.
Is in fact his adopted daughter. Some are saying this woman in the background here is her mother, but nothing is confirmed. You can see she's been with him in interviews, hanging out with Diddy's daughter.
Rumor has it that it was actually Ava's mother, Catherine, who handed her over. David had no idea any of this was happening because, the last he knew, Ava was still with Catherine. So imagine his shock when he turned on the news and saw his daughter being introduced as the adopted child of Sean, Diddy, Combs. The man was completely blindsided. Now, it's unclear whether this is even the same Ava, but that's what's being circulated online. According to reports, Ava was declared missing back in 2015. After several failed attempts to reach Catherine, authorities eventually contacted David. Ava hadn't shown up to school for over 3 weeks, and Catherine hadn't contacted the school even once to explain her absence. At first, the school wasn't entirely sure that something was wrong. But after speaking with David, it became obvious that this wasn't a normal situation. David then went to the police in San Antonio to file a missing persons report. When officers were sent to the last known address on file, it turned out to be an empty lot. That's when it became clear something serious was going on. For those wondering why David didn't even know his daughter was missing until 3 weeks had already passed, it's because Ava and Catherine were living in San Antonio, while he was all the way in Oklahoma. Their relationship after Ava was born was extremely messy, and Catherine reportedly made it her mission to keep him out of the picture. She even spent over $45,000 in legal fees just to fight him over custody. At one point, CPS attempted to remove Ava from Catherine's care after a video went viral showing her behaving erratically while Ava was lying in bed behind her. CPS then reached out to David, telling him they would help him gain custody if he could assist in locating Catherine. However, Catherine allegedly found out about the plan and began moving from state to state to avoid authorities, jumping from county to county whenever she got into trouble.
Okay, he just helping out a nice little white girl that needed a family, okay? Okay, come on y'all. Y'all smarter than this. Y'all smarter than this.
They eventually caught up to her, and David was granted partial custody. That was actually the first real time he ever got to spend with his daughter. Apparently, Ava didn't even know she had a father until that point. She was incomplete or just realizing he existed, as he had been kept a secret from her. The reason many people are convinced that this Ava is the same one Sean, Diddy, Combs allegedly adopted is that the timelines seem to line up, and the resemblance is hard to argue with. And if you remember, It also came out during the indictment that Diddy was reportedly involved in transferring people.
That's her. Here's a picture of her that her parents took. It's one of the last photos. Now, take note of her long forehead, her shortened chin, the jaw structure, the teeth, the eyebrows, the eyes, the eye color, the cheekbones, and ears. And she just also happens to be the exact right age.
First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be.
After that video of Diddy and Ava went viral, and people began connecting the dots, David came forward and essentially confirmed that he believes the girl in the video is his daughter. He stated that some powerful people know exactly where Ava is but are deliberately keeping that information hidden so they can continue using her however they see fit.
Somebody out there that knows where she's at. Katie did not get out of San Antonio by herself. We believe she had help. We know that they are alive.
Really deep similarities. And if you go watch the video, the whole video, Ava actually claimed that, he just randomly found her on the street, which is...
Catherine's older daughter, who was raised by a foster family, also came forward and said she believes both Catherine and Ava were taken against their will. David has said in interviews that he holds on to the belief that Ava is still alive and prays that she is safe wherever she may be. When asked if he truly believes she's alive, he admitted, "Sometimes I have my doubts, I'll be honest with you. But when you ask me, I answer with confidence because I believe that God is true to his word, that he will watch over her, protect her, keep her safe, and bring her home one day." What's truly unsettling is that, to this day, nobody knows where Catherine or Ava are. Not even law enforcement has been able to track them down. People are starting to question whether authorities genuinely can't find them or if someone has been paid to look the other way. Given that Diddy's indictment reportedly confirmed he had federal connections on his payroll, that theory doesn't seem as far-fetched as it sounds, and just when it seemed like things couldn't get any messier, Ally Carter stepped in and made things worse for Diddy by exposing major details about what he allegedly did to Ava. Ally reportedly went through a very similar experience herself, but the difference is that her ordeal remained behind the scenes, while Ava's situation was publicly documented, from official records to Sean, Diddy, Combs' own social media.
And I don't know if they even got through all of those witnesses, but Maureen Comey is the prosecutor of this case, on this case in New York City, and she never asked about... And there's so many people who wanted me to be a witness on this trial, and I want to explain jurisdiction. I know some people don't understand jurisdiction.
She also flat out accused the prosecutors of helping Sean Diddy, Combs slide out of those charges. According to her, the entire trial was never really about justice. It was a public humiliation ritual designed to drag his name through the mud and then quietly sweep everything under the rug. She further claimed that federal authorities were aware of Diddy's alleged behavior as far back as the early 2000s but did absolutely nothing until Cassie finally came forward and blew the whistle.
Now, when you look at the corruption, the FBI covered it up for how long? This case was back in 2000, early 2000, right? So let's talk about who's guilty here. The DOJ released a video that at first everybody said they couldn't find a video of Cassie Ventura being... They couldn't find it. It didn't exist. You saw one clip, and then you saw DOJ released another clip to the news. So the DOJ had that clip to begin with. So the people who are telling you that they don't have the Epstein file, they're full of shit. What other way do you want me to explain that? They're lying to you. The ones that are telling you, Pam Bondi, that she only had a little bit, it's bullshit. I bullshit. Because they told you the same thing, and now you're seeing it with the Sean Combs case. They told you they just had a little bit of a video, and then it got released. That's on the DOJ. They lied to you. They told you that nothing happened, that this man, Sean Combs, was just this rap mogul that everybody loved. No, he couldn't have hurt nobody. He couldn't have did anything. And then all this stuff came out. Well, he did that. But yeah, he couldn't have did anything else. And then something else came out. Okay, well, maybe he did that too. But he couldn't have did anything else. And then something else comes out. How many people did you hear say, I left a party early? I knew about abuse. I knew about children being there. I knew about him beating the hell out of females. I knew about the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early. So guilty. How many people did you hear say about Cassie Ventura that I knew that she was being abused? I knew that she was wrong. I knew what he was doing, but I'm just now speaking about it. Guilty. Coward. How many maids did it take to clean up a penthouse suite? Know that there was blood and glass everywhere, but they kept their mouth shut because they got paid. Guilty. So we're not talking, let's go back down to the bottom. The hotel manager that you guys never seen his face at first of this hotel, he heard the beat. He heard the screaming. He knew what was going on. He knew that Sean Combs was in there. He knew that he had other girls with him. He knew what was going on. He had the footage. He talked to the security. That hotel manager is who took that footage from the security and said, okay, hand me some money or help me be quiet and I'm going to shut the hell up. You did not hear anything from that hotel manager until now. But they told you, that hotel manager, if you would have went back then, they would have told you, no, we don't know anything. Cover up. Guilty. The security that were on shift that night, that knew about this footage, that knew he dragged her down the hallway, that knew he kicked her in the back and all over the place. The hotel security that knew about that, they looked away. They got paid off. Guilty. How many ways now the FBI that have had all of this information for a really long time looked away from it as well. Guilty.
Now, while Ally was speaking out about all of this, Jaguar Wright also entered the conversation and supported the claims Ally made by accusing Sean, Diddy, Combs of exploiting Ava. She alleged that his entire music career was just a front and that Ava was one of many children he supposedly obtained from negligent parents.
Tell us why. Tell us why.
Because he's a sex worker. And he's using music and entertainment to traffic.
That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people watched. He does all kinds of. He's a piece.
Too much money.
I feel bad.
You know it's serious when both Jaguar Wright and Ally Carter are coming forward to speak out. As of now, Ava's whereabouts remain a mystery. But with all the recent developments in her case, authorities might finally start looking into it again. As usual, people have shared their thoughts. One person said, "Where is she?" Diddy and his family should be charged. Staying silent or being involved is just as guilty. Others are asking why authorities haven't questioned Diddy about her whereabouts, wondering whether she is considered a missing person as an adult or as a child. Some believe that those close to him know more than they admit, noting that the daughters and sons are likely not innocent either. If nothing bad had happened and Ava was safe, one would think she would have come forward by now, but now the bigger question is, what do you think about Ally exposing all of this? Do you really believe Ava's situation is as reported? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.